Hey everybody, Dr. Todd here from Gonstead Spinal Wellness, and I wanted to take a minute to talk about one of the most important supplements, if not the most important supplement that you can be taking. That's probiotics. So we were talking about one of the most important supplements, if not the most important supplement that you and your family should be taking on a daily basis, which is probiotics. We have a supplement we call Probiotic Essentials. Essentially, we private labeled a very high quality supplement out there. It contains a type of bacteria called How Are You, it's a registered trademark of Danisco, which is part of DuPont. So out of all the different probiotic manufacturers in the country, the ones that claim the highest purity and testing and everything is of this brand. So that's something that you're going to want to look for, is something that's from Danisco or DuPont. So first off, let's talk about why probiotics matter, why you should be taking them. Well, you have about 10 trillion cells in your body, and you have about 100 trillion bacteria in your body. So there's actually a 10-to-1 ratio of bacteria to your own cells. So what does that mean? Well, bacteria there's more of them. They outnumber us. They're very, very important. They're much smaller though, and the majority of them are inside our gut. So our gut has tons of these bacteria in there. Why are they in there? We hear bacteria, we automatically think that's a bad thing. Well, there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. There's bad things, there's bad organisms, and there's certain types of bacteria that are bad, and there's certain types of yeast, for example, that are bad. So now, why is it so important to have these healthy bacteria in your gut? Well, gut health is really important for many things. One of them is immune function. We know that 80% of your immune system and the strength of your immune system relies on proper gut health. So that means if you're getting sick all the time, if you have an autoimmune condition, if you have flus, colds, allergies on an ongoing basis, you want to look to the health of your gut. You want to make sure that your gut is being nourished properly. Some people don't know what that means, so I'm going to break down some easy steps that you can understand. Also, your gut affects your mind and your mood. There's actually a lot of efficacy to the statement gut feeling, is that the fact is that the majority of serotonin produced in your body, that feel-good chemical, is actually produced in your gut. So if you have proper gut health, you have proper serotonin production. So think about your gut as like a garden that you're growing. You know, it's gardening season right now. We have our garden over on the side of our house here. Think about that when you have a garden and you want it to flourish, you want lots and lots of the good product. You want lots of good vegetables and things, right? You put your fertilizer on there and water it and do everything possible, but you also want to keep out the weeds. You want to keep out all the bad things, all the different pathogens, right? So essentially you have poison and weed killer, which we don't use poison and weed killer because we have an organic garden, but just hang with me for this analogy. You have poison and weed killer, and then you have nourishment like fertilizer. So also with this whole idea of having different bacteria in the gut, you have good bacteria and you have bad bacteria. The good bacteria you want to feed. You feed good bacteria by eating fibrous vegetables. The fiber actually feeds the good bacteria and helps flourish and replenish and keep this garden healthy and alive. Things like fruit sugar, fruit juice, sugar, bad quality carbohydrates that easily turn to sugar, like wheats and breads and white flour and refined processed stuff, that essentially feeds the bad bacteria. But sugar primarily feeds the bad bacteria. That offsets that ratio, and that really diminishes the positive qualities of you trying to build up proper bacteria in the gut to begin with. So avoiding sugar, that's a key thing that you want to make sure you're doing if you're trying to have a proper gut flora. So probiotics are absolutely a necessity for proper gut health in today's day and age. You want to eat healthy bacteria that are going to build up that load to strengthen your gut, to strengthen your immune system health, to strengthen your brain health. How do you do that? When should you take probiotics? Not with food. You want to take them 15 minutes before food or 30, 40, an hour after food. Second, as far as knowing what kind of probiotic to buy. There's all these different products out there. It has to be a reliable manufacturer. Like I said before, the probiotic we use is because it's from DuPont. It's one of the highest quality, best trusted probiotics out there on the market. We actually were just in a seminar a couple weeks ago on nutrition, and the instructor of the seminar was telling us, if you're going to do a probiotic, what do? You get one that is made by DuPont. And so right at that moment, I'm pulling up our stuff and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, I hope ours is made by DuPont. And I looked on our product sheet and it says, yep, sure enough, it's How Are You's registered trademark of Danisco and used under that license, which is a subsidiary of DuPont. So good. The reason you want a reliable manufacturer is because there was a test that was just done recently in the last couple of years where they looked at 55 different brands of probiotics out on the market. What they found was shocking. Only 13% of the tested 55 actually had the organisms listed on the label inside of that supplement. So you weren't even getting what they claimed you were getting. And even more shocking is only 1/3 of those 55 brands tested had living organisms in them, meaning the rest were not even living, they were dead. They would do you no good if you took them whatsoever. So another question people have is they say, well, can I just eat a bunch of yogurt? Can I eat kefir? Can I get all these things out of the market? If you take something that's a really healthy, reliable source out of the market, yes, but I would not take it from pasteurized milk. I wouldn't take it from pasteurized yogurt. That's going to defeat the purpose. You're not going to get the same quality as compared to if it was unpasteurized or if it was a high quality supplement. And also too, if you want to have a good, healthy gut flora, what do you want to avoid? You want to avoid antibiotics at all costs. If you absolutely need them, if it's a life or death situation, we get it, but 99% of the time, they don't need them. So you take antibiotics, you're basically declaring a nuclear holocaust on all of your healthy gut flora. You're killing it all off. If you do take antibiotics, make sure that you superload probiotics for several weeks. It can take up to a month just by taking probiotics to replenish that gut flora. If you do not take probiotics following an antibiotic routine, it can take you half a year, even a year, or you will even never get back to the normal gut flora that you were at prior to that antibiotic hit. So think about this. If you or your family have been taking antibiotics or have taken them in the last months or years and have not done a probiotic cycle of building this back up, you need to do this to have proper gut health. Also, a couple features that you want in a good probiotic. If it's a liquid, you have to keep it refrigerated. Something I like about the ones that we have, they come in these nitrogen-filled blister packs, and that keeps them super fresh. It keeps all the contents alive and what's promised on the label, and you just pop it out of the blister pack when you need it. We cut these up. There's 10 in a blister pack. We cut it up individually, and I put them in my little plastic daily supplement thing, and I pop it out of there and take it each day. You want to take a high number of colony-forming units. Good number is at least 20 billion. What we have in ours that we decided to do as far as for our daily dose is have a 30 billion CFU probiotic. So in summarizing, I hope that this was helpful to understand why probiotics are one of the most, if not the most important supplement that you and your family need to be taking. Just to remind you too, infants also have a certain level of probiotics they should be taking. We have a 4-month-old baby right now. We feed him a little bit of a powder out of these capsules several times per week to also build up his gut health even higher and better than what he's going to get from his super healthy diet, which is mama's breast milk. Just to recap real quick, probiotics are important because they control gut health. Gut health is important because it controls serotonin, which is brain health. It controls the immune system health and just all over gut digestion, absorption of nutrients and minerals as well. It should be taken every single day by children and adults. In infants, it's a slightly lower dose, and you want to make sure that you have a high quality probiotic that you're taking. If it's made by Danisco or DuPont, that's a good, reliable source that you can trust. And also to understand that yogurts and kefirs and things like that are only good if it's unpasteurized or super clean, or also a very highly reputable source. Don't just go and get that cheap little yogurt that then has all the sugar in it as well, and it's pasteurized. You're kind of defeating the purpose. Hopefully now that makes a little more sense. With that said, a couple other supplements just to mention that are important that I think are in that 4 essentials is the probiotics, of course, a good quality multivitamin, vitamin D3 with K2 so you can absorb it properly, and omega-3 fatty acid fish oil. Omega-3 fatty acids, I've talked about that in past videos as well. So I hope you found this beneficial. Please feel free to share this with your friends and family. And remember, at Gonstead Spine and Wellness, when it comes to the health of you and your family, results matter most.